Well, and one of the things that the Industrial Revolution combined with the union movement in the 30s, 40s, and 50s brought us was that you could have the same standard of living with about 10 or 20 hours of work a week less. And it's entirely possible, if this is done right, if it's driven from the bottom up rather than the top down, which would be post-revolution, basically. It would be after we break the back of the Reagan Revolution. It's entirely possible that we'll all be looking at 30-hour weeks in 10 years, 20 years. But I just don't know. Great question. People are asking the big stuff here. It's smart audience.
Yeah, Tom, I wanted to thank you for your...
You need to eat the mic.
Okay, I'm sorry. Am I okay?
Yeah, let's put it right against your mouth.
I wanted to thank you for your story about the 80-year cycle, where you have concentration of wealth that leads to autocracy and... So, I'm sorry.
You have to eat the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I wanted to thank you for your recitation of the 80-year cycle, where the concentration of wealth leads to autocracy, and the only way it's broken is with something incredibly cataclysmic, where millions of people die. And so...
Not necessarily die, but millions of people are affected. Yeah.
Well, you take the Civil War, you take World War II,
Yeah.
those are millions of people that die.
You're right.
And I think that is unavoidable. It's almost sort of like a cosmic cycle of destruction and renewal.
Yeah.
And I think that is inevitable.
Yeah, it's kind of Shiva, isn't it?
That's right. And so the rise of autocracy it's monopoly capitalism,
Yep.
and that ends in dictatorship. And the only way to break it is but with a cataclysmic explosion. And I think, this is what I think, most of the people here, and what you're talking about, is an easy way out. We don't have to face that. People are still talking about, oh, how can we fix this? How can we convince people that you know, this doesn't have to happen?
Yeah.
You know, how do we convince people if they vote, we can get away from this? I don't think we can get away from this. I think you're spot on about that.
Yeah.
And I think most people, their heads are in the sand.
I agree. Do you have a question, or you just want to share that?
This is just a comment on this. I think it's unavoidable. And I think it's almost like a cycle of nature, basically.
Yeah. I'm not certain that it's entirely unavoidable, but I'd put the probabilities at well north of 80%.
When's the last time you checked on your home title? That's the legal proof you own your house. The problem is, in today's AI and cyber world, scammers are stealing home titles, and your equity is their target. Criminals forge your signature on one document, and boom, your home title has been transferred out of your name. Then they take out loans using your equity or even sell your property, and you won't even know it's happened until you get a collection or foreclosure notice. That's why you need to stop what you're doing and find out today if you're already a victim. Use the promo code TOM14, THOM14, at HomeTitleLock.com to make sure that your title is still in your name. You'll also get a free title history report plus a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud should happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Use the promo code TOM14. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code TOM14.
Just in my opinion. Sir?
Step on up, Jack.
Even.
Hello, Tom. I see this current administration as a corporate coup d'etat with the death of democracy being what dies. They've invested so much in this effort, I don't think they'll give up after being voted out. If the people can't beat back fascism with their vote, at what point do we wage economic warfare? Decrease consumption, insurance revolt, divest in the stock market, refuse to take out loans. Because I think the only way you can beat back fascism is to starve it.
Yeah. Your question presupposes things remaining pretty much the way they are, so that middle-class people have the ability to make the choice to not participate in the economy. What I'm arguing is that it's going to be imposed upon us. That's what a depression is. It's when the middle class gets destroyed. And so you do have essentially a massive economic boycott, but it's an involuntary one, not a voluntary one. The other point that I would make, and people often call into the program and say, well, why don't we just all go on strike, or we need a general strike, or let's boycott, Coke Industries or whatever. And the problem is that if you look around the world at countries where strikes have been successful, or boycotts have been successful, we haven't really had a successful boycott in the United States since the Great Boycott back in the 60s. And that was not even really successful. It was more of a PR thing. The countries where strikes and boycotts do work are countries that have more than 50% unionization. And the unions become the nexus, the focus, the locus, the organizing systems for the strike and the rebellion, essentially. And that's one of the reasons, in my opinion, not just my opinion, Russell Kirk's opinion, why it was so imperative in Reagan's mind that he destroy the union movement. When Reagan came into office in 1981, 1/3 of American workers had a union job, and a second third had the equivalent of a union job because the union job set the local wage and benefit floor. So 2/3 of America was functionally unionized. Today it's 6%. So we just don't have a mechanism outside of the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is way too disorganized to organize this kind of thing. But it's a great question. Thank you for asking.